Okay, so here we go with pluperfect tense. Remember I said that there was 3 different perfects. There was the perfect, there's the pluperfect, and then there's the future perfect. And all these perfects have the idea of completed action. And that's what makes them special. And they all come from the same principal part. So with porto, remember we have porto, portare, portavi, portatus. It's the pluperfect, just like the perfect, is going to come from the 3rd principal part, because that is the perfect stem. So if you want to, and the pluperfect, we translate this as a had, like I had done something before I did this. And in English, we really don't use it that much. We usually just indicate pluperfect with, with just regular past tense. But in Latin, it's important. They do use it, and it is a specialized tense. So, we're going to translate it with the word had, just so we can distinguish it. And on the AP, you really should translate it with had if you see it, because that's what they're looking for. So you use the same perfect tense, portavu, okay, we take that I off, because that's the perfect indicative. We want to do pluperfect. So if you want to say, I had carried something, meaning, yesterday I carried food around, but I had carried water before that. It's something that happened before something else in the past. That's what the pluperfect is. The plus perfect is really what it means. To indicate this, you say, portau is your stem. The tense sign is era, E-R-A, and then you use endings much like your present endings. Here you use an M, portaveram, portaveram. Okay, so in imperfect you had B-A, that was the tense marker. In pluperfect you have E-R-A. Okay, so this is really important. E-R-A, that is your tense marker. And you have that era, portavera, portaveram. Okay, and then for I, you use an M to indicate I. And then the rest are just the same way. It's that you would expect. Portaveras, portaveras. Okay. Era is your tense marker, and S is your person and number marker. And that's your stem. Portaverat, portaverat, portaveramus, portaveramus. Notice this is just like present tense. Endings. Portaveratis. And or portaveratis and portaveramus and portaverant. Portaverant is your last one for a 3rd person singular, 3rd person plural. So your endings, era is your tense sign, and then your endings are M-S-T, mus, tis, ant, which are the same endings that you use in present and imperfect tense. Okay. All the other tenses, with all the perfects, it always works the same. They're always done the same way. So we have habeo, habere, second conjugation, habui, habitus. 3rd principal part, habu eram, habu eram, habu eram, habu eras, habu erat, habu eramus, habu eratis, habu erant. And that's how it works. Third conjugation, you got duco, ducere, duxi, ductus. Third principal part. Dux is your stem. Take off the I. Duxeram. Okay, duxeram. And then you're going to have duxeras, duxeras, duxerat, duxeramus, duxeratis, and duxerant. And remember, the way you translate all of these is always with had. So, I had led. You had led. He had led. We had led. You all had led. They had led. And the idea is it happened before something else happened in the past. Okay, maybe, before, I don't know, before I was sober, I had led, a crazy life or something like that. It's happened before something else. But we usually don't say it in English. We usually just say it that way. We usually don't say the had, because we don't make the distinction. And then the last is audio, audire, audivi, and auditus. And this is going to work the same way. Get your fourth principal part. Audiveram, audiveras, audiverat, audiveramus, audiveratis, and audiverant. And I had listened, you had listened, he had listened, and so forth. Now, on the whole, as far as the frequency of the pluperfect, it certainly, I think, appears a lot less than the perfect or the imperfect or the present. But in some constructions, especially when we see subjunctive, it does appear quite a bit, like when he had said this. When he had done this, then he did this. So it does appear, but probably not quite as frequently as present, imperfect, and perfect. But still important. And that's it. Walete.